Hey everybody, this is Halstead and Andrew McMillan with REH CPAs. Today we want to talk about potential new tax laws that are coming down the road with the new Trump administration. Now that we've had the election and all that's been settled, we've got a little bit of clarity as far as what we're probably looking at from a tax standpoint. Andrew, what can you tell us some of the plans we've heard from the Trump administration as far as taxation goes?
Yeah, so 2025 has kind of been jokingly looked at as like Taxmageddon because a lot of the current tax law was going to end at the end of 2025. And the current tax law that we're operating under was President Trump's tax law that he enacted in 2018 under the Tax Cut and Jobs Act. So a lot of our current tax law is set to expire soon, but now that Trump has won the election, it's likely, well, he ran on the premise that he wants to make his tax law permanent and even make it introduce even more tax cuts. So a few things that I know he is really making a push towards wanting to do is lowering individual tax rates. He did do that under his tax law that he enacted. The rate used to be 39.6%. He reduced it to 37%. So he has said that he wants to lower that even more going forward. So that's something to keep an eye on what that's going to look like going forward. He also increased the child tax credit to $2,000. It was $1,000, but now it's been increased to $2,000. So hopefully, likely, we'll see that be made permanent for a lot of taxpayers. And then he also just kind of revamped standard deductions. We've talked about the differences between itemized deductions and standard deductions in some of our videos, but the standard deduction, he essentially doubled. It was once about $12,000 for a married couple, and he increased it to $30,000 is about where it is now. So he wants to make that permanent. For a single individual, it's about $6,000. It was $6,000, but now it's been increased to $12,000. So we've been operating under these changes for the last 5 years or so, but a lot of these, it's likely that he's going to try to make these permanent, but even increase them even more going forward. Just some additional things he's talked about is not taxing Social Security benefits. So right now, depending on some factors, it's a little complicated, like most things with taxes, but depending on some factors, your Social Security benefits could be taxable, or a portion of them could be taxable. He wants to make Social Security not taxable. He's talked a lot about tariffs. You hear tariffs in the news a lot. He does want to increase tariffs. There's a lot of schools of thought on that. I mean, reality is tariffs have been around for a long time, but he does want to increase tariffs. So how that really plays out in the economy, that'll be something to keep our eyes on going forward. And then he wants to reduce the corporate tax rate. He did reduce it once already, so right now it's at 21%, but he's making a push to he's talked about wanting to bring that all the way down to 15%. So that's C corporations. Again, just want to make that distinction. A lot of our videos and a lot of small business owners are S corporations. So when you hear in the news C corporations or tax rates, they're talking about C corporations more often than not. So those are just a few things that have changed in the past and are likely to change even more. But I think the biggest takeaway from this video would be just keep your eyes on taxes going forward, because it's a very good chance now that President Trump has won the election that we are going to see another potential big overhaul in tax law going forward.
Awesome. Really good information, Andrew. And as we find out more, we will pass it along to you guys. Thanks.